Okay, welcome to the session. Last session we left off just as you guys had crossed into the city. I believe it was later in the evening, not horribly late at night, but later in the evening. You had managed to find or locate or found in the gutter a copy of the most recent Gumtar Stronghold crier there as you come into the city. And you had just finished taking care of Castle Caldwell. Unless there's something particular you want to do that night, I assume you're going to go back to your inns or your rooms and sleep and then go meet Mac in the morning. Am I correct?
Hey guys, did you want to handle selling all this stuff now? If there's shopkeepers still open, so we can not have a cart of loot outside of our rooms.
Yeah.
Well, I'm off separate from the group because I had that sack of heads.
Okay.
Sack of heads.
Yes.
Yeah, gonna go along with helping you guys steal all the stuff.
Also, guys, I'm noticing there's this really cool short sword. It's not really my style. Corum?
Oh, I would love to take a look at that.
So the sword you're handed, Corum, nicely crafted short sword. Nothing fancy. Its blade is kind of a dark. The steel's been blued a little bit, not a whole lot, but blued a little bit, so it's a little bit darker than normal. And the hilt is wrapped in what looks like maybe stingray leather.
Interesting. Would there be a shop around here that he'd know where he could maybe get it looked at?
Yes, you guys have been in the city long enough, you know that you can go into a variety of different locations, but there's a number of shops in the area, and it's not horribly late at night. It's getting toward evening, but the shops are still open. There's the shop that you could go to with the potion maker, if you want to go back there. He might be able to help you, and in particular, but there's other shops you can go to as well. I'll swap maps and let you guys in on the city map.
Where do you guys want to start? Should we sell these weapons? Bertra, are you keeping that longsword?
I think Bertra walked away on us.
Yeah, Bertra went to find one of the city guards. She's going to cash in. Her and Grunt are planning on cashing in some heads that Bertra collected.
And that short sword or that long sword seemed to work against the ghost. Do we just want to set it aside for now? Let's go somewhere, see if they can check out that short sword of yours.
Yeah, sounds good.
Potion shop?
Okay. So you head over toward Scribe Haven, or Scribe Haven, which is where one of the main markets is, and over toward Market Reach. And you locate one of the potion shops, and it's one of the ones you've dealt with before. It's like I said, it's starting to get dark, so there's lamps on in the rooms, and you enter the somewhat now familiar potion shop that you've been in before. You see the multiple glass windows as you come in the door of all different sizes with all these potion windows, and as you come in, the little bent guy behind the counter. What do you want now?
Good sir, I acquired this weapon. I was hoping you could take a look at it. If you wouldn't mind putting on gloves before handling it, though, I'd love to know if it has any magical properties.
He looks at you and looks at his gloved hands and goes, "Besides the ones I'm wearing?"
I just wanted to make sure.
Understandable. What do you want?
Well, can you and I kind of hold out the short sword for him to inspect. Can you tell me any of its magical properties, if it has any?
I see. He takes the short sword and goes, 1 copper.
Absolutely. And I place the copper on the table.
It doesn't even have time to rattle on the table as he whisks it away. He takes the sword, looks at it, goes, "It's a short sword. It's magical." And then he has a pair of spectacles on top of his head, and he drops them down on top of his head. And first you think they're just normal spectacles, and then you realize he starts adjusting little magnifiers down to it, like he's looking smaller and smaller. And then he reaches in his pocket and he holds up different colored gems. Like he holds up a ruby and he looks at it through a ruby. He holds up an emerald, looks at it through emerald. Holds up something else, looks at it through something else. And then he looks back at you and goes, "Where you find this?"
Oh, we found it in a stronghold nearby.
So you didn't buy it, you found it, right?
Correct.
Good, because if you bought it, someone cheated you. That thing's cursed.
Interesting. Can you describe its cursed nature?
Sure. You use it, it'll help you miss. Don't care how good you are, it'll help you miss.
Well, that doesn't sound very useful.
Well, it might be useful to the person who wants to miss.
Pray tell, who would that be, sir?
The person who doesn't want to be stabbed by it.
Gorm thanks him very much. And can I do an insight just to make sure he's telling me the truth?
Sure.
Oh, that's a good one.
He is as truthful as the day is long, Corum. It's
you
hard
should
to
use
tell.
it anyway.
Yeah. But he does seem to be genuine in what he's telling you, that the item is cursed. If you want, I take it off your hands.
How much would this cursed sword be worth to you?
Oh, that's the pretty part. See, well, to someone like you that goes stabby with people. But for the right people, it worth something. That weapon right there, I give you 600 gold pieces for it.
What about 800? Sorry, I meant to hit persuasion.
Yeah. Give me your persuasion roll. Okay.
I went through all the P's.
Yeah, you went through all the P's there. So you're trying to. It's fine, 750.
Let me take just a moment to discuss it with my comrades.
Okay.
Dash, what do you think? He says it's cursed. Should we take the 750 for it?
750 is probably what we're going to get for anything that we go to any other shopkeeper for. So it's probably worth it, but does anyone?
I'm still trying to determine if I'm not with you guys, or am I with Bertra?
You're with us.
I thought you went with Bertra, but it's up to you.
Well, what was Bertra doing?
You're going to go help.
She went to sell some heads.
Yeah, I think I went to the castle. I think I went behind you guys, so I was thinking I was catching up.
And was that a conversation that you had with the guard, or was that one that I had the conversation with the guards about selling those parts for money.
We sold a troll head one, but
Okay.
nothing else.
Then no, Grime would have let you go and do that because he wanted to go in town to get another potion since his got used up.
Okay, so you're there then, Graham.
Okay.
Not that type of cleric.
Oh.
I can
Well,
fix you. I can't fix weapons. Sorry.
Well, I wonder, is there a way to remove?
well, if you remove the curse, what would it be? I mean,
It'd still be a
So
+1
earthly
weapon,
is-
wouldn't it? Out of character.
It'd be a sword.
It'd still be +1 though. Just
I
another
think if
curse
you
on it.
remove I think if you remove the curse, it just becomes a short sword.
Wow.
Jason, would we know?
You may not, but the guy behind the counter might.
Yeah, but I don't know if we can trust him.
Well, that's perfectly legitimate option too.
I don't know. It's up to you. If you can't think of any great value to keep it, we can we could sell it. If you want to try to remove curse, we could bring it somewhere. But right now, we just don't have that skill, anyways.
Fair enough. Maybe he'll just hold on to it for the time being.
So Grun's now going to start looking nervously at his axe, whether it's cursed or not, and he's going to set it up on the counter as well. Says, "Don't touch it, but can you tell me if this thing's cursed?"
So he kind of looks at you and goes, remember you? You're here before. 1 copper.
He begrudgingly pulls out a copper and throws it on the counter.
He doesn't touch your eyes because you ask him not to. He does the same thing. He takes his spectacles and he looks at it, and he starts flipping little lenses back and forth. And the next thing you know, he's holding up a diamond, and he's holding up a emerald, and he's holding up a ruby, and he's holding up a citron. He looks at it and goes, that's a nice axe. It's good sharp, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Does it feel right in your hands? Does the weight feel good?
It feels better than my last one. Yeah.
Yeah, probably would.
Is it cursed? Is what I'm asking.
No,
you.
not cursed. It's magic, but not cursed.
All right, he picks it back up and walks away from the dude.
And just because he's also paranoid, Dash will pull out his dagger, flourish across his fingers, a +1, set it down, and then flourishes the silver, sets it down, and says, "Thank you for helping out our fine group. Could you also take a quick look at this?"
Sure. He looks at it and goes, Does it go through the same process? Oh, yeah. It's sharp, isn't it?
Sharp enough.
Have you tried throwing it yet?
I have.
Throw good?
It did not miss.
Balance right?
It is.
Yeah. It's magic. It's magic.
Nice.
Not cursed, though. And for the first time, you realize that the little forgetfulness thing, that he's totally stopped doing that.
The forgetful thing. I'm drawing a blank on that. Both
This is
I
the
and
same-
Grun are.
This is the same guy that asked you 4 different times what you wanted in a shop the first time you came to him.
Okay.
Tonight he seems to be a little bit more lucid than last time.
All right. Oh, it's the same spot where I try to get my
Yes.
potion and he ripped me off.
Yes.
Okay. I gotta think how Grun's gonna react to this now.
I'll whisper to everyone else, hopefully, so he doesn't overhear. Be like, "Do you think Mac talked to him, or do you just think he was sampling his potions last time?"
Yes. You were in here last time, weren't you? Mm-hmm. Bad day. I have good days, bad days.
Oh,
Bad days, bad. Not remember everything. Little bit too many time around the fumes, and kind of points to the stuff behind him. Some days, not good. That's why I keep all my prices in book.
Grun's eyes are gonna get big at that. He's gonna step forward. Says, so yeah, it was a bad day. It was a bad day for me too. So let's make today a good day.
Okay.
Give me your best price on a freaking healing potion.
Healing potion. He turns around and starts looking around behind him on the shelves.
Grun, tap your ring when he looks back.
If he looks at me, I'll kind of point the ring on my horn.
So, what kind of potion you want? You want normal strength or extra super strength?
It depends on how good of a day it is.
Well, normal strength, 110 gold pieces. Extra strength, 880 gold pieces. So, how good of a day is it?
This is not a good day. I think
Told you, that's why I keep my prices in the book.
Well, go look in your book and give me a price.
I did give you a price. 110 gold pieces.
I think that's more than I paid last time.
Well, I could check ledger sheet.
Yes, please do.
He goes back and goes, oh, that must have been a really bad day. Can't read my own handwriting.
You want me to look at the journal for you?
No. I see. He pulls his ledger sheet up and turns around and goes, no, really bad day. And you see that because he's thumbed by like to the day when you recognize the date. And you can see it looks like a child has drawn in his ledger that day. And there's a picture of you
Hmm.
and a potion with a no sign scrawled through it.
Oof, really bad day.
Said, yeah, really bad day that day. So that's why I keep everything in ledger book.
So out of character, I did buy it for less than that last time, right?
I thought it was 150 last time, honestly.
Was it?
Yeah, he could have charged you 150. That's within the price ranges.
Okay. All right, so Grunge he's still gonna look pissed. Like, is a picture of him look stupid that he drew of him?
No, it doesn't look stupid. It just looks like a child drew it. I mean, it's like a stick figure with a very rough looking, bovine head with horns.
All right, so I'll lean into him, kind of breathe out kind of loudly and forcefully through my nostrils and his face. It says, normally I charge people to draw my picture. I gave you a really good deal last time. Why don't you give me a good deal this time? And I'll let you try again to draw my picture.
I haven't given you a good deal. 110 gold pieces, good deal.
110 is not that good.
Well, maybe not where you come from, but in Gumtar Stronghold, these potions hard to make. Some of the things just don't go around here. I have to have it shipped in. I have something for that. Great potion for that.
For what?
And he reaches around behind and he pulls out a little bottle, and it's kind of like diamond shaped, the bottle, and it has a green liquid in it. He says, "Take this, gargle twice a day. You have it free."
I have no idea what the hell this is. So, if he hands it to me, that's fine. I'll take it. But I'm also going to look back to, I don't know, Lightning or Nalia, somebody. What the hell is
Your
this?
breath stinks.
He hands it to you.
Oh, you said it to me? My breath stinks?
He didn't say it.
No, but who was that who said that? Was it Lightning or Nalia?
Grun, your
Right.
breath stinks.
And he's going to look pissed off. He's going to set it back on the counter and say, well, I don't care if my breath stinks. And I reject it.
Make Constitution save.
Me?
Yep.
Oh, son of a bitch, what do you do to me? I'm gonna cut this guy's head off.
So just for a second, Grun, the rest of you see Grun just freezes in place. And he looks around the rest and goes, "Is he always in this bad of a mood?"
Yes.
Okay, just checking. From your point of view, Grun, he moves like 3 steps to the right when you blink your eyes.
What strange shit is this?
No strange. Just minty. It's basically water with mint. It makes breath smell good.
Tell
Helps
you
with
what.
ladies.
Tell you what. I'll take your advice if you give me a better deal on the potion. Otherwise, my breath stays as it is.
I'm sorry, I can't do that. 110 is best I can do. I mean, I lose profit with that if I go lower than that.
Grunge kind of look at the rest of the group. Is this really worth it?
for your breath mint.
The breath mint was free.
His eyes are kind of glare a little bit. I'm talking about the
Here.
health potion.
Grun, I'll throw in an extra. I'll throw in 5 of gold for you. So it's.
I'm not looking for
105.
charity. I'm
No,
just
no, I just
asking if
want
it's a
you to-
good deal.
I just want you to protect me in the end. So And
At this
you
point,
being
I
on your
want
feet is good.
lightning. At this point, I just want lightning to stagger up from the floor from laughing so hard, and place the money on the counter and say, "We'll take 2."
I'm not
Very well,
looking for
very well.
charity.
Very well. Again, the coins don't have time to even rattle on the counter, even though you're laughing so hard as you put them up the counter. They disappear, and no, so they disappear. But when they disappear, 2 bottles of a red liquid appear where they were at that quick.
Can I do a quick perception check to see if I saw his hands move, or is this magical?
His hands didn't move.
Impressive.
Grun's gonna get paranoid. He's gonna start checking his pockets.
Okay.
Like, what's some kind of strange magic in here?
Well, it is
Okay.
a magic shop, sir. What do you expect? It's potion shop. I have
Grun,
help.
One more question, please, dear shop.
Grun's walking out.
Okay. Either clatter as you go. One more question as he goes out the door. Yes, dear lady. What?
Do you have any like unusable parchment that you would be willing to spare?
Old parchment scraps?
Yes.
One moment. And
Thank you.
he actually turns around and you see him and he starts rummaging through drawers. And then he pulls out like this wad of old parchment. It's like scripts and scraps and all. He's like, "This what you're looking for?"
Yes, that is exactly. Can I take all of it?
Sure.
Cool. How much do you want for it?
Your friend mad enough. You take it for free.
Oh my god, I'm so glad Grun's not there.
Thank you greatly. And
So
also,
it's just scraps I use to wrap stuff with. So
also, that was 220 for the potions?
yes.
Cool. Sweet. And with that, I'm gonna leave the shop.
All right.
Before we go, I'll also take out that longsword real quick and be like, "Hey, do you
Okay.
mind to take a quick look at this too?"
Oh, sure. 1 copper.
Okay. Pull out a silver and give it to him just to keep trying
Okay.
to build good
Hit those
esteem
fingers.
with him.
Okay. Thank you. And he goes to the same rigmarole. Again, he goes to the same set of stones. You see a ruby, an emerald, a citron, and a sapphire. And he looks all and he goes, nice weapon. Well balanced. No curse on this one. Not like that nasty thing he have. But this weapon do good for you.
Dash, perhaps I will hold on to that longsword, and we can sell the short sword here now.
Yeah. Sounds
Ah.
good to me.
Want to get rid of sword? Great. I have cousin here in city who studies cursed items. That's why I offer good to you. He goes, okay, lay on the counter. I mean, obviously the short sword, I'm certain he hadn't picked up off the counter. And no sooner you guys did you make the agreement, and you look up at him and he's explaining about his cousin. You look back down. There's a bag of coins laying there.
Okay.
We'll collect the coins.
He goes, thank you. Been good day. Sold 2 potions and buy sword for cousin.
By the way, while we're here, sir, are you in the habit of exchanging gold pieces for either platinum or gems?
Sorry, don't have enough. I can't do that. However, there is institution of coinage or trading, or some people call them banks. 2 blocks, and he points down the street, and then 1 block, and he points in the direction. Can't miss it. Or you can go temples. A lot of the temples will change coin.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good day. Good day.
Yes, thank you.
And then as he's saying this, you see his eyes kind of glaze over, and it's like he's seeing you again for the first time. He goes, so, what can I do for you today?
I think you've done it all. Thank you.
Good,
Hey.
good.
Did Nalia try to talk there again? Or
Yeah,
is
I
that
did.
just
Am
my
I still
imagination?
quiet?
Yeah, you're still super quiet.
Let me see if I can fix that.
Wasn't trying to ignore you, just kind of
Yeah,
heard it.
I didn't
so.
hear you now. Yeah, sorry. Let me bring up her volume so I can hear it. Oh, I've got her turned up all the way.
Okay, I bumped up my volume. Is this any better?
Little.
Not by much.
Yeah, not by much, but a little. I can hear you now, at least. Okay, so while you guys are wrapping up there, let me flip over to Bertra, who went to one of the city gates looking to trade in heads, I believe.
Is this any better?
Yes, and Goblin is.
Okay. Not really, Nalia. So you approach one of the city guard gates, I'm assuming, Bertra.
Sorry. What was that?
So I'm assuming you approach one of the city guard gates to cash in.
Yeah.
So you walk up, and of course, the first guard looks at you and goes, oh, wait a minute. Huh. What can I do for you, lady?
Well, I'm part of the retrieval service, and I showed the ring.
Yeah, good for you.
And we've had to be clearing up this castle, and we killed a lot of bandits and goblins. And I was wondering if there is any reward for any of these individuals. And then I pull out one of the heads.
He looks at it and he goes, well, where's the rest of him?
You only need the head to identify someone.
Well, I was just curious where the rest of him was at.
Back at the castle.
Ah. Oh, you were with the group that, okay, yeah, we heard about you guys. Sorry. Though the group's been plaguing the area, they haven't ticked off enough anybody in the area to give any kind of reward for them.
Oh, that's a shame. But
now, those goblin ears, I can give you 10 gold pieces an ear. Well, a pair of ears, 5 for each ear.
how many ears did I get last time? Then
And there was about 10 goblins in that area. So there'd be 20 years.
and 10 per ear, so that's just
100 gold. Or well, no, 200 gold, sorry. Okay, now, yeah. Sorry. Goblins just don't have, I mean, we understand their problems, but they're not a big problem in the area. Not like the trolls. Weren't you part of the group that dealt with the trolls, too?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, thought so.
Sure you don't want the heads? They could at least be used to put on pikes.
Oh, we
Or
don't do that. Sorry.
They make very good mugs.
No, I'll pass.
Oh well.
If you want to get rid of them, you can throw them in the bin over there.
I'd do that. I'd just chuck them in the bin and then start
Alright.
heading towards the sword chest plate. Is that the right one?
Yeah, that's where Mike operates out of. Okay, and Let me check Discord and see if Nadia's back so we can check our mic.
Oh yeah, do I sound any better?
Oh, much better.
Worlds.
Fantastic.
Yeah, world's better. Okay, so Bertram's headed back towards Sword Chestplate. What are the rest of you doing?
Apparently getting rich.
Apparently.
Grunt's head hurts. Don't like math.
So
I'm gonna try-
we just went through real quick and talked with the shopkeepers and just sold all the junk we had.
Right, yeah. All right, so then are you head back to Mac? What's your plans from there? I mean, it's still in the evening. Of course, now with all negotiations, the shops and traipsing back and forth is probably getting later in the evening. The shops are starting to close. Not that the Storage Chestplate will be closed. It's a tavern.
One other thing, guys, I didn't try to sell this item. This. So looking at this town, this necklace we found there really matches the symbol of Castle Caldwell, which from what that crier, I know you guys don't read it. Basically, Lord Torek claims Castle Caldwell, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, Jason, but I believe it says he reclaimed an ancestral home, like his ancestral home.
Correct.
So this heraldic symbol matches that. So honestly, I think if we turn this into Mac, he might be able to negotiate a bonus or something. Or even if we can't get a bonus, I think it'd be kind of a dick move to sell some dude's family heirloom.
Agreed.
Okay, so we did not sell that item.
Okay. Now I brought you back to the crier. So that's what you're referring to. Yes, one of the articles in the crier, which you've probably read by now, those of you that read, is that Lord Torek reclaimed one of an old holding of his family, Castle Caldwell, which is who you were actually working for through Mac to clear the castle out and get it ready for him taking possession of it. Amongst the stuff that you found in the castle, you did find this necklace. Well, I made a version of it. It's not really a necklace in the picture, but you get the point of what it looks like. Okay, so are you headed to your rooms for the night to crash, or are you going to meet with Mac in the morning? You're going to try to meet with you tonight?
I'm gonna
I
go
like getting
celebrate.
business taken care of. I'm good with meeting him tonight if he's awake.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, tonight.
Okay. So I'm assuming then you do the same thing. I mean, Birch is already headed that way. You head to the Sword Chest Plate.
Once we walk in, Dash will order some ale for himself. Anyone else?
Yes, most
take a drink.
definitely.
Count me in.
I will buy a round.
So you arrive at this. It's getting on in the evening by the time everybody arrive. By the time you arrive there and get in, not late in the evening, but the sun's definitely down, and the party's going. When you come into the Sword Chest Plate, a familiar face, at least to Corin, is entertaining by the hearth. One of the bards he's previously worked with. He'll remember her name, no doubt. She nods to him as she's singing and performing. Yes, Wald is there performing. And just as you come in, you catch the tail end of the story that Wald is singing. And the story she is singing is the story of how you all negotiated into a troll to voluntarily give up and come into the city after it had attacked people on the road.
She's stealing my material, I see.
She's performing what the service asked for her, making you famous. And actually, not a few, but several heads turn as you all come in, as you all start to filter in and collect at the table there, not too far from where Walt's forming, same table you've had in the past, but not a few heads, and you actually hear a ripple of conversation in the crowd realizing that you all are the people that she's actually performing and singing about. So there's a little bit of recognition within the city of who you are now. You're not sitting there too long. Your drinks come to the table, and then you're there. Your drinks are served, and then suddenly a plate of meats and cheeses arrives at your table, carried by one of the waitstaff.
Someone brought us food.
The waiter who brought hilariously a gnomish gentleman who was carrying the tray over his head as he weaved amongst all the patrons, and drops says, "Yes, compliments of who was it now? Oh, what was his name? The guy who wears the yellow robes all the time." And no sooner as he said that, than
Arden.
Yes, Arden appears from across the room and comes to greet you. "I see you have returned. Was your expedition profitable?" Not sure why Mike is on that layer. He shouldn't be there.
No, I saw him.
He's not supposed to be there. Yeah. Arden arrives at the table and says, looks around and says, "Ah, you seem in good health. Did all go well at Caldwell?"
Just as planned, Gren will say. He's going to slam his axe into the table.
Your axe sinks about 3 inches into the table, and like see one of the boards, because you sunk into it crossways, you can actually see it's about to give way if it gets much more weight put on. Next thing goes, new addition, I see.
Yeah, it'll come in handy later.
Good. Would you all like to care to meet with Master Mac tonight?
We still got out of character. We still got to collect our reward for this, correct?
Correct.
Okay, then hell yeah.
I'm in the wrong map.
You're in the wrong map? Oh,
Yeah.
I know where you're at. You're not in the wrong map. You're just in the wrong level of the thing. Hold on, Lightning.
Lightning was
Thank
just really
you.
excited and ran up the stairs.
Lightning was in Mac's office rummaging through the drawers. That better, Lightning?
Our
Thank you.
cleric's a better rogue than I am.
Apparently, I had adjusted some things for a session, something else I had planned at one point. Because, well, we can arrange that. I believe Master Mac is around. Let me go see. And he disappears up the stairs and off into the upstairs rooms. And he comes back about 10, 20 minutes later and goes, yes, Mac is here. This way. And he leads you up there. And we'll just do Theater of the Mind with it. Up there. You come into this same plushly carpeted office that you visited before. Mac is sitting behind his huge desk, which looks even more huge because of the fact he's a halfling. He's dressed in evening wear. He's actually dressed in what would probably pass for almost a tuxedo in this area. I'm sorry, I was at a bit of a soiree tonight. So you've returned from Castle Caldwell? Oh, that's not Mac's voice. I'll fix that next time around. Sorry, that was Arden.
We have.
Excellent. So, you're back from Caldwell. How did it go?
We're alive, aren't we?
Well, yeah, you're alive. I expected you to be alive. You're not dummies. Did you find any problems out there?
Okay.
Goods.
Lots of problems, but they're not dead problems.
We encountered something strange. I don't know if your scrying on the rings might have showed it to you, but there was a sorceress, but we never saw her again. Someone came and threw fire down at us and then ran away, and we could not.
It was chain lightning, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Maybe it was lightning. Sorry.
Yep.
I knew spell.
Magus, that's funny. They reported chain lightning to me, not fire, but okay.
Oh, that's what it was. I'm sorry. The evocation spells are outside of my knowledge.
I understand. Yes, we did get a report of that. And at this point, he's actually, you see him, he's leafed through some papers on his desk, and he's actually perusing down something written in Dwarven on his desk. And he's not hiding it by any means. What he's doing is, yes, looks like you had, yeah, oh, wow. Really? There were undead there?
Quite a number.
Huh.
And correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but wasn't there also a botched telepathy?
Well, I don't know if that was botched telepathy. I think when we got hit by that lightning spell, we kind of linked with her for a second in some weird way.
Mac's eyes kind of near. Telepathy? What are you talking about?
Mental communication.
No, I know what it is, but I don't understand what you're referring to. And see, we can only see and hear what you see. So anything in your head, and he points at his head, we don't know about.
Well, it seemed like we almost got a bit of a conversation between that sorceress and somebody she was referring to as Master. That the voice of Master sounded familiar.
Interesting. Did you recognize the sorceress or the voice? When you say it sounds familiar, do you recognize?
Didn't we? I think we thought it was Arden or Mac when at the time. Is there a way to kind of remember this or kind of get you back up?
At the time, you all thought the voice sounds familiar, but I never said who it might be.
Oh, okay. We just had our suspects. Got it.
But,
Yes.
but it sounded familiar to everybody or to certain people?
Most of you all recognized it, or thought it was familiar.
It was Grunt.
So we all rolled last time to see if you remember. We can't do that again.
Well, you could actually do a perception roll at disadvantage to see if Mac's voice matches what you remember. And Corum rolls a freaking 19 at disadvantage.
Oh, the other one was nat 20.
Oh, wow. So is there any point in the rest of us even rolling then?
Well, that's up to you, but I'll whisper to Corum what he hears.
I guess I'll roll it too then. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Run and lightning, nope, don't remember anything. Neither this dash, nothing sounds familiar.
That's good because I actually don't remember the conversation even. So.
It's even better, huh?
Mac, it was weird. But now I can't remember. Do you guys remember?
Nope.
I remember it happening. I remember things. I don't remember the master's voice. I remember the sorceress lady being kind of upset. Why is there survival?
Because Berkshire got click happy.
I accidentally rolled for advantage, and then I changed it to dis.
That's okay. It'll still hold. Our wizard, so we'll take it. That's interesting. Well, let's see. Oh, I owe you money, don't I?
Yes.
Let's see. He looks around the table and he leads through another sheet of paper. He goes, oh, and he reaches down. And he pulls out 6 sacks, and he flips the sack to you in the air for you.
Dex check.
You don't need to make the check. Some of you either catch, fail. That's up to you all. So you all retrieve the coins. Each sack contains 500 gold pieces.
Excellent.
And now I do believe you owe me some money.
We do. So as a party, here is 6.
No, don't give me. Don't give me.
Okay.
He goes, hold. Yes, I get the accountant, and he goes literally to one of the doors next door, and he knocks on the door, and this elder-looking dwarf that you've seen him before comes out and goes, you have money to pay. 1 second, let me get your ledger sheet. And he goes back and he disappears in the back, and he comes back out and he goes, and he says, And how much did you bring us?
As a party, here is 606 gold, 7 silver, 5 copper. Sets down 1 bag. Takes out 76 gold of my own. Sets it down.
The
then-
Norm gives the money from him.
Okay.
I'm assuming before this, Grum would have had someone help him do the math.
Yeah.
His bag out there.
So Bud plops some money down. And he goes through. He says, "Yep. Looks all in order. Looks all in order, Master Mac." And he whisks it all off into a bag.
There is one item we haven't sold yet, and we want to talk to you about that first. So before you, I don't know if we owe you anything on it, but
Okay. He looks back. The guy looks back to Mac. And says, "Item. What item is this?"
I pull out the heraldic necklace and be like, so we're looking at the town crier, and it looks like our contractor claimed Castle Caldwell, and I believe this is their house symbol on it, pointing to the necklace.
Mac
I don't know
Mac reaches his hand out to look at it, and turns it so you can see it better. And goes, it does look very similar, huh? Let's see. And he pulls out. He finds a copy of the crier on his desk, and he looks at it and listens. You're right, very similar. Tell you what, I give to our contractor, and whatever bonus he give for its retrieval, I give directly to you. Fair deal?
Sounds good to us.
Excellent.
And Dash will just hand it over.
Okay.
Trusting.
Mac takes it and lays it down on his desk with other stuff, and he looks at the accountant. The accountant nods his head, and he disappears off into the other side room that he came from. So, while you're here, unless you have anything else about this job to talk about.
Lightning would like to make an insight check on Mac's promise there.
Okay.
On giving us all.
Okay. From what you can tell and from your dealings with Mac, he's being truthful to you.
All right.
So,
Well, how about our next business? Do you have anything for us?
actually, I do. It just came in just 2 days, just right after you left, actually. I do have a job for you, and it's a little bit more important than the jobs you've been doing. Different contractor. Are you interested?
Grunt is trying to keep the excitement out of his eyes of all this. Sure.
I think you'll like this one, big fella.
Mm.
Have you ever heard of Paleon the Merciless?
Have I? I don't know.
Give me a history check. And for Dash, give me a history check at advantage. Grun, you have
No.
you do not recognize the name.
Can Lightning just start bouncing around in excitement at the name?
Sure.
Would the
title
bard
of the
know too?
Merciless?
Oh, there we go.
The bard probably would not, but Dash is part historian, so Dash, you immediately recognize the name. And I'll just say it out loud so that everybody can hear it. Paleon the Merciless was a pirate who roamed the seas here about 50, 60 years ago. And he was literally merciless. And he captured dozens upon dozens of ships at sea and raided them for treasure. He was one of the most feared pirates of the region. However, somewhere along the way, something happened. And he retired from piracy and rebranded himself as Paleon the Pious. And it was rumored that all of his treasure was hidden in a couple different places. One of the things, though, that was rumored that he had, and this is what you remember, Dash, it was rumored that he had one of the mythical seeds of magic. So, I got a contract for this guy. He claims he has a map to Paleon's secret hoard, and that it's not far from here. And all he wants out of the hoard is this big gem. You say it's about size, and he looks over Brush and says, about her size, maybe a little bigger, much thinner. No offense, lady. And that's all he wants out of it. Whatever else you find, we get to keep. Same agreement as always. I got my money up front, you get your money. Now, what he paid on contract for us to retrieve, we able to give you, oh crap, I didn't write it down. We pay you each 500 gold pieces for work. But this is a little bit different. Most stuff you've done for me, you go outside the city gates, you go over a couple hills away, nothing major. This is going to take you time. You have 1 month to finish job. 42 days to finish job. 1 month. You will need to travel to Corcliffe. Corcliffe, and most of you all would know this, Corcliffe, and actually here, let me bring the map up so you can see.
Surely for a month's journey, we get paid more than 500. You said yourself, we've only gone a short distance in Castle Caldwell.
I get into that. Let me get the map up first.
You said?
Yes, Corcliffe. If you look on the map,
Do like a shift click or something for us? There you go. Yeah.
there you go. Corcliffe is a few miles. It's about 50 miles to the north of you all. It's about, because of the way the roads travel, and you can see the roads on the map, it would take you about a week to travel by road up there. Because that's the thing. And that's why this job different. Because you're going to have to travel. So, what I'm willing to do is I will book you passage on ship. Ship will sell you to Corcliffe. From Corcliffe, you will have to come back toward us a little bit. And he says, I have a rough map to show you where and directions to get you in right vicinity. But you have to travel about 2 days back toward Gumtar Stronghold along the coastline, not where there's roads. That's the problem. And hidden on the coastline, according to his map, you will find a entrance going into the very cliffs themselves, allow you to enter his vault. You have to go into vault, retrieve the item. Again, anything else you find, our standard agreement. You give me 10%, you keep 90%. So, are you interested in job? The service will pay you for your travel.
Meaning what?
Well, let's see. I figured the travel up, it roughly for the passage on the ship, and then for you to rent some kind of animals to ride on, to move, and plus you'll need a cart. I give you an additional, as a group, 250 gold pieces to get what you need to make your, 250 gold pieces each to get what you need to do the traveling arrangements. We will make all the arrangements for you, but you will have to pay the money when you get there, obviously.
Understood. So 250 now and 500 when we return?
Correct.
So out of character, Jason, would Grun have an idea of some of the ships and stuff around with his background to maybe
Yes.
help with this?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes, you because you're familiar with the sea and the trade, you would know, and he's not lying. It's about a 60-mile ocean sail north. It would take 3 to 4 days sailing north to get to Corcliffe, and then based on what he's telling you, and you've been along the coastline, it's pretty rough in there, and there's no roads right on the coastal cliff until you get to Gumtar Stronghold. So it would take you another couple of days at beating the bush to get back to the coastline on someplace hidden along the cliff. Now, you might be able to bribe a sea captain to take you directly to it, or hire one to take you directly there. That's always an option. You know that.
Okay. All right. So I'm not going to say anything in front of Arden about this, but yeah, Grun's definitely interested in doing the ship route.
So, you guys interested in job?
We'll take it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. And he kind of looks around the room and goes, I have one minor amendment. All of you get $250 for travel expenses, okay? And he kind of looks at Birch's, except you. You get 300. You're going to need a bigger something to actually ride. And I don't think a horse is going to work.
So I'm confused now, out of character. So we're taking a ship up there on the sea,
Correct.
or we're traveling by road on the way back, is what you're saying.
Well, you're going to take a ship north to Corcliffe.
Right.
And then once you arrive in Corcliffe, you got to come
2 days.
south about 2 or 3 days south riding to
Okay.
get to where you need to be. Plus, you're
Okay.
going to need a cart or something to haul this object back with you.
Yeah, just that 2 days. When we're still going to come back by ship as well.
Yes, yeah. Then,
Okay,
then,
all right.
then you go back to Corcliffe and take the ship back to Gumtar.
Okay. All right. Just making sure.
Yeah. It says now, Arden can arrange it all, or you can arrange yourself if you want. I know some of you hang out at the docks, and he kind of looks at Grun because I know you've been fighting down there. I make good money off you some nights.
Cat's out of the bag.
Hey, well, hey, you're pretty good at the merchantman.
All right. So since you spilled the beans, I got a pretty good feel I can get a pretty good deal on the ship going up there.
Okay, don't matter. It says travel expenses. It's $250 for each of you and $300 for the big lady because she's gonna need something bigger than a horse.
Okay.
Sounds like a deal.
But like I said, this is not a rush job. I mean, it's going to take you time. It'd take you probably 3-4 days sail up there. And he kind of looks at Grun appraisingly. 3-4 days sail back, 3-4 days up, 3-4 days back. So 6-8 days. And then you got to go, a couple days ride down, a couple days ride back. And you can tell as he's going through it, it's going to take you a little bit of time to do all this. Because then you got to figure out how much time it's going to take, at the location to retrieve the item. He says, so that's why when we made contract, I made sure we had 42 whole days, whole month.
Now, his estimates on the ship, 3 to 4 days. Do I
Yes.
know if that's accurate or not?
He's being fairly accurate. You can tell based on the weather this time of year. Yeah, that's probably right. 3 to 4 days up, 3 to 4 days back. Maybe less, maybe more, depending on weather. You know that, Grun.
Okay.
Luckily, this time of year, it's I believe it's summertime right now, so the seas aren't too bad.
Okay.
Yes, but that's what I have to offer if you take job.
Grun's gonna look around the rest of the group and say, "Well, I'm in. If you guys are."
Boat.
Yeah, we'll be on a boat.
I've never been to sea.
Can you swim?
Possibly.
Well, there's one way to find out.
It's okay, Bertra. I've never been on a boat either. But it's okay. We'll be fine. We have Grun.
Okay. I'll make
But
sure
I'll
there's
be-
some extra little skiffs on the boat.
No, it's okay. It's common knowledge. You float.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I don't know about you guys. I wanted to take a little bit of time between heading
now-
out for this contract just so we can spend a little bit of time recuperating. I have an
Oh,
associate
oh.
I want to talk to.
Sorry, I not tell you contract. Yes, good for 42 days.
Yep.
But you also have 2 weeks rest time. I did not tell you that. I'm sorry. So you got 6 weeks. Right. Well, 42. You got plenty of time. You got time to do your training and leveling, and then go on the journey.
Hmm.
Well, that works for me then. Dash is in.
Yep.
Yeah, I figured you're going to need a break. I read summary before. It's rough time out.
Maybe rougher than it had to be. Looking sheepishly towards Lightning.
Lightning just kind of sticks her nose up and turns away.
Well, how about I buy the next round, guys, before we crash out for the night?
One other thing, you guys do a great job, and I can't give you more money because, well, contract. But rooms next door that you used before, yours.
For free?
Permanent?
Yes.
Sweet.
Oh, great.
You have to pay for your own food, but the room's covered. At least till you leave to go to Corcliffe.
This extra bag of cash took Corum over encumbered. So he's gonna walk back by everyone around whenever we're done here. But yeah, next order of business will be need to exchange some stuff.
Okay, so I'm assuming you're taking the jobs. Let me go off the map here.
Before Dash walks out of the room, I
Uh-huh.
will say to Mac. So, since you guys are watching all the time, I have some after hours activities I do. Is that an issue for you?
We only watch you when you're away on mission.
Ah, in that case,
What you do after when you're not working for me, that's your business.
Perfect.
I mean, we keep tabs on you to make sure you're not stuffed in a barrel somewhere.
Okay. I haven't been stuffed in any barrels unless by choice. So
Yeah.
Thank you.
One of the users will generally checks on you once a day to make sure you're living.
can I just leave a note for them instead of having them follow me around
Sure.
or try to follow me around? Perfect.
Sure. Just give to Arden.
Perfect. I'll drop that off. Thanks.
Okay.
And Dash will leave.
Okay.
So I'm hoping to have like a little session back at the bar real quick. With the
That's just drops you on the bar.
So Corum's going to look around and make sure that no one's there, Arden or Mac, and that maybe kind of speak in hushed tones.
Mac's upstairs. Arden has disappeared. He's somewhere on the bar somewhere, but nowhere near you.
Guys, did you not hear it? That voice that we heard in our heads, that was Max. I don't know. I played dumb and said I didn't remember, but it was definitely him.
Out of character, I don't remember what the hell was said.
Well, the woman who fired lightning at us was talking to Mac and calling him master.
Well, that's disturbing.
Agreed.
You know what this means, right?
That means they can hear everything we're saying, right? He taps on his ring on his horn.
We're not on contract. They're not watching. Unless they are.
So
Which
you
case-
say.
In which case, Mac, buddy, you're my favorite.
Could he be testing us?
Somehow I don't believe that.
If I remember from the conversation, it sounded like whoever was talking with Mac, they were surprised at what we were doing and that we were making good progress. I don't feel like it was Mac trying to kill us. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure that could have fired more than one lightning bolt at us. Did quite a bit more damage.
Yeah, perhaps she was there on a separate mission sent by Mac to recover something else.
Sounds like he's testing us.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to make of it, but I just thought it'd be best not to let him know that we knew.
Gren will laugh. He's going to take the ring off his horn. So maybe we should put these in our pockets first. And he puts it back on his horn.
Wait a minute,
Oh, you got
Gran.
it.
Mac, if you're listening, bring it on, bud.
Gran, maybe this has something to do with your brother.
What? How can this have something to do with my brother? He's in the Burning Lands, is what the bard told me. That's
Yeah,
where he
but
disappeared.
Consider it. He was sent on a mission by Mac. And this lady, is so far as we know, contracted by Mac. As I realize that it's kind of far off, but it's the best lead we have so far.
Okay, so if she's missing, we need to go find.
Yeah,
I can care less about this pirate.
but the pirate can get us some funds so that we can hunt down Miss Sorcerer Lady.
Okay, so again, I'm assuming Mac's hearing all this. So we're not being very sneaky here. Mac, if you're listening, if she has something to do with my brother, Well, someone's going to come to blows.
This is gonna be fun.
I don't care what he's doing. He's paying us money, and I get to fight things. What better joy is there?
Oh, Bertra,
Run.
speaking of fighting people, can you be my bodyguard for this evening?
Okay. Why?
I want to go to some of the filthier parts of town and see if I can't find something interesting.
Okay, understandable. You'd want a big girl with you.
All right. Corm's gonna retire. You guys have a great night. Hope what I said doesn't keep you up, but I want you guys to know because I trust you.
Will do. Thank you. Good night.
And Grun,
Trust you.
I wouldn't make any decisions yet. I'd say we keep working with Mac. He says he's helping you find your brother. Much reason to distrust him yet. At this point, I would just relax and just keep our eyes open. Alia, do you have any opinions?
I actually agree with you, Dash. I don't know. All this seems like a bit of a stretch, to be honest. We seem to be jumping to a lot of conclusions.
I am very good at jumping.
So as you all talk, the ebb and the flow of the sword chest plate, Wool has left the performance area, and another bard has replaced her. The bard there starts singing an epic story, and the story that he is singing about is about a group of adventurers who traveled to a faraway temple. And in that temple, they fought a great elemental evil. The story is kind of sad because in the end, you find that these adventurers escaped the temple, but were scattered all over Eldarin and were never heard from again.
Does this sound familiar at all to the story that the bard told me about my brother being lost?
No.
Okay.
Sounds familiar to the story of Belle being lost.
So, Lightning, where are you wanting to head off to?
To the scummiest part of town to find a graveyard.
Oh, you want to go to the graveyard?
Yep,
Okay.
we're robbing graves.
So, the thing about Gumtar Stronghold is there's not a graveyard in the city itself.
I'm sorry, what?
There's not a graveyard in the city itself because there are dozens upon hundreds of crypts built into the rock below the city that houses all the undead. So it doesn't take long. All you got to do to find a crypt nearby is go to one of the two ramps that lead to the grotto below and take those down about 2 or 3 rotations, and then you start seeing tunnels that are carved into the rock that Gumtar sets on, and those lead off into crypt areas, not unlike the crypts where you all first formed up as a group and went looking to retrieve the green lantern.
All right.
Are you saying this out loud to everybody that you're going to rob graves?
Mainly to Vertra, but yeah.
Okay. So are you still headed that way?
In that general area, yes.
Okay.
Are there any places that would prepare the bodies for being placed in the crypts?
That would happen, and typically happens here in Gumtar in the temple districts. The families will bring the bodies to the temple for preparation to be interred. That partly feeds into, and particularly in the recent days, is to make sure they don't rise again, since we've had a lot of undead appearing in the city that weren't cool until here in the last few months. That's up to her and how quiet her and Bertram are being. You can make a perception check there, Grun, and see if you hear.
I did. That's why.
Oh,
That's why I
it
said
is
the question
perception.
after.
I'm sorry. Yeah, because they're sitting at the table with you. Man, I'm not sure she's not trying to hide it from the group as a whole.
I'm really not. Feel free to come with.
You are on your own tonight,
Yeah, I'll pass.
ladies.
Honestly, I just need a bunch more incense and to get up this pile of parchment marked with holy symbols.
Oh, well, that you can easily obtain in the temple district. You might even talk. Let's see. You're a cleric, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you go back to the same trainer you've been dealing with, you can probably get it from them.
Yeah, I could. Yes.
Or you can rob the graves of the incense that's burning outside, and that's very possible to do too.
To be fair, I also wanted to see if I could rob any of the temples of possible books on necromancy.
Oh, okay. So you and Bertram head over to the temple district. You only have a map for that area. I can bring up the general map.
Thank you for accompanying me, Bertra.
It's no problem. Yeah, sorry.
So the part of the city you're heading toward is what's labeled as the Spires on the map. It's just a little bit to the west of the Sanctum of Knowledge. The Spires district is given its name because there's lots of temples and stuff in this area, and a lot of them have these huge spires erected to the various gods. You start traveling down the avenue, and you see temples to Athena, temples to Ares, temples to Ra, temples to Osiris. You see temples to you name the gods of Eldarin, and there's a temple to them here at some level. Some are big temples, some are small. Probably one of the most prominent temples is the Temple of Zeus.
Well, we are gonna go to the Temple of Athena first.
Okay. So you turn down a side street, and you've been, in the temple district before, and you travel down one of the side streets. Not a major side, it's still a major street, but it's a side street off the main road. You turn, you find the Temple of Athena. The Temple of Athena is a classically designed temple. It's open on all sides, surrounded by these huge white pillars of stone, and then around the top are all these engravings and depictions of Athena, and they've all been painted in all these bright colors. Of course, it's now at night, so you don't see too much of the colors. But as you come in there, and there are a number of torches and temple itself, and then in the middle, in the center of the temple, is this huge statue erected to Athena, and she's standing there, and on each one of the four corners of the room, there's a huge oil pyre that's been lit to light the temple at night, and because it's reflecting off the white marble in the side, it kind of gives a warm whitish glow to the statue of Athena in the dark.
Pleasant. Hello? Is anyone here? I need some help.
So it takes a few minutes, and then a gentleman comes strolling out. He's dressed in the garments that you have seen associated with the Temple of Athena itself, a long flowing kind of white robe with her symbols woven into it around the various places. And he says, "Yes, how may I help you?"
Ah, cool. So, I actually need a bit of a hand with putting a bunch of holy symbols on this pile. And as I'm saying pile, I just, from the pouch that's on Lightning's hip, just reach out and flop the crumpled up scraps of molded parchment that I got from the potion guy onto the ground, putting holy symbols on these.
We can help you with that. This is a rather unusual quest, lady. Why?
I use them for spells.
You're a cleric of Athena. Very well.
I mean, not of Athena, but it works.
Oh, very well. Yes. Do you need these immediately, or can we have a few days to inscribe them properly for you?
I have a few days.
Very well. He says, if you give them to me, you can call again. Let's see, and he gives this time or no, a little earlier than this time, but say the evening of, and he gives you a date, 2 days hence. We can have them prepared for you.
All right, that sounds perfect. Cool. Sorry about some of the quality of these. I got them for free.
That's okay, my child. That's okay.
And
We can help you with that.
thank you greatly. Is there any charge for that, or?
Oh no, but there is no charge. Of course, we're doing the work of Athena, though a donation would not be out of order if you're so inclined at the time you retrieve the items.
Okay, in which case, here, please take a donation beforehand for me troubling you at such a late hour. And Lightning hands over 2 gold to this honestly really, really nice priest.
Yeah, he looks at it and he goes, thank you, my child. And they disappear into his robes.
Oh, thank you. Adios. Well, goodbye.
Good evening, my child.
Come on, Bertra, we have some books to go find and purchase.
Okay, so where are you headed to now?
Okay.
I need to...
Now, keep in mind, it's pushing 9, 10 o'clock in the evening now. It's getting into the night. The streets are mostly deserted. Interesting enough, that's a pretty good point. I need both Bertra and Lightning to make me a perception check. Since you're in the Temple District at this time. So, Lightning, you notice as you're leaving the Temple District, you notice a group of soldiers entering the district as you guys are leaving, and they're armed. They're part of the tally, the city guard.
Oh, that's curious. Bertram, we're sidetracking.
Oh, okay, let's go then. Where are we going?
We're following the tally.
So, the tally aren't trying to be, like they're trying to hide or anything. You watch as they crest down one of the streets, and they arrive at some of the larger temples in the district, and they break off into smaller groups. There's probably about 15 or 20 of them when you first spot them, and they break off into like 3 or 4 groups of 4 or 5, and they go into these various temples.
Which is one of the groups going into like a baby temple, like one of the smallest ones?
I
Get you did a baby temple.
Baby temple.
They do go into one of the small. There is a group that does go into one of the more smaller temples in the street. Now it's still a fairly good sized temple, but it's smaller than the others. It's actually the temple to Nimyat of the Bells.
We're going into that one.
Okay, so you come into the back of the room, and you see that the inside the room, up toward the main altar, this temple, Nimyat of the Bells, is a relatively new religion. You yourself don't know much about it. You know it started here in Gumtar Stronghold, but its followers tend to sing a lot of songs and things like that. Though they do have a few, actually what you would consider true priests. Standing at the front of the room is obviously one of the true priests, or maybe one of the true followers. There is a priest dressed in a long dark robe there. He is talking with the 4 members of the tally that entered the room with him, and they're in their bright yellow and red striped tabards, so they're easy to spot what they are. And they're talking quiet, and standing near the priest is 3 or 4 soldiers, but these appear to be soldiers of the church, more like, and out of character, they're paladins. Standing nearby, and they chit chat for a little bit, and they nod, and the whole group turns and makes to leave out of the exit that you're standing by. They don't seem to really notice you, though. As you and Bertram kind of push yourself off into the shadows, I'm gonna let your stealth roll hide both of you. And as they go out into the seat, you do hear a snippet of conversation about that they'll be covering the westward crypts tonight as they go out.
Bertram, what do you think that's entailing?
Probably dealing with like we had to.
Yes, but why would they involve the bells? The bells are not the religion that you would want to get involved with the dead.
I don't know anything about it. You'll have to.
Well, do you want to keep following, or do you want to go back to the tavern? Because I want to keep following.
I said I'd guard you, so I'll guard you.
Yes, but you can go back if you want. I don't want you to get too tired.
You'll probably die on your own.
Fair point. I already kind of have. We'll keep following.
Okay, so you follow. They're not trying to be secret. Head. One second, guys. My phone's ringing.
By the way, back at the bar, we are just getting trashed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're getting trashed until you realize you spent 100 gold.
Ooh, I hope he doesn't make us roll for our bar tab.
Sorry about that, guys. My phone was ringing and no one was answering, and it was my son calling from Scott. And I had to go find a phone. Okay, so they head west toward the market district, and they go into and down the ramp at the market district, down the market ramp, headed toward the crypts. Continue to follow.
Bertram, do you want to keep going?
Yeah.
Yes.
As they get closer and they go through various through the districts, more members of the tally and other mercenary types are joining them as they go that way. So the force is getting larger. They descend down into the market ramp, into the crypts in there, and they actually start going, and you can watch them for a bit until finally one of the tally tells you, kind of shoos you guys away. But they're going into the crypts and they're not looting the crypts. You can tell they're not looting, but they're actually opening each crypt, and they have keys to open them. And they're going in and checking the crypts and coming back out and relocking the crypts. And then when they relock it, they're putting a mark on the door. And you can see that on the doors, there is several of these marks.
Oh, they're doing purifying rounds. Petra, take off your rings. We're going in. Act like you're escorting me or something.
But I am escorting you. Okay, I take off.
But like fancy escorting.
So as you two approach where the group of the tally is, there's two of the tally on guard outside the crypt that they're in. Goes, halt! Who goes there?
An apprentice priest from the Temple of Athena. It was a late summon.
And
Yeah,
her guard.
Make a deception check.
Me or lightning?
No, lightning. Yeah, you don't quite look like an apprentice priest from the Athena's temple. Can I see your credentials, please?
Credentials? Oh, you mean my holy sigil? Yes, of course you do.
No, I mean your paperwork.
Paperwork?
Yes. On your way now. On your way. Good evening.
Good evening. Oh, wait. In which case, could you perhaps point me to where I might find a magic bookshop? I want to make sure that I know the location for when the morning comes, because I'm terrible with directions.
Go to the Tower of Lore, which you know where that's at here in the city. It's not too far from the Cliff Gate. Go to the Tower of Lore. Yeah, someone just pinged it there. And go 3 blocks back toward the spires, and you shall find a number of magic shops. Now, please be on your way for your own safety, citizen.
All right, thank you. Better run.
Okay, now let's cut back to the group in the bar. What are you guys up to besides drinking games?
I had a very long conversation with me and Dash over the chat.
Yeah, I've been following parts of it.
We're just bullshitting.
Okay.
I got no plans unless Grun suddenly stands up and starts wandering the streets. Dash is just gonna keep drinking his wine and try to convince Grun to try something new.
Okay. Okay. So then I'll cut back to our 2 wandering the streets instead of the only 2 about. You've now departed the group. Where are you headed from there?
We're gonna follow those directions to the
Okay.
magical bookstore.
Yeah, so the Tower of Lore is easy to find. The Tower of Lore is actually a more or less a school of magic within the city itself. And then going a few blocks down, you find a number of currently closed bookshops that purport from their signage to sell magical items based on the colors painted on their doors.
All right.
And you'd be
Time-
somewhere about
Okay.
somewhere about where the V in Haven is at.
Alrighty. Time to see if I can do Dash's job.
Okay.
Not tonight, though. I'm gonna actually have Dash do that because he actually has the tools.
Okay. So are you headed back to the tavern?
Yeah, I'm thinking so. Petra?
Okay.
I'm thinking we should head back.
After you, my lady.
We're so gracious. Thank you.
Said acts like I'm high class escorting you. You still want me to do that?
No, it was only for the gods.
So you two arrive back. You've been gone several hours at this point, as you traipse over and dealt with that and back and forth and followed the guard around. You arrive back in the tavern to find Grun and Dash sitting at the table still drinking. Quorum has apparently gone off to bed. I'm quite sure what the others are doing at that point. Not sure where Nalia.
Nalia went up. She
Yeah,
went. She
I
went to
retired
sleep
as
too.
well.
Okay, Nalia has retired, but Quorum and Grun are still, or not Quorum. Grun and Dash are still sitting there drinking and chatting at the table when you walk in.
Gron, just drink the wine. It tastes good. Trust me.
I'd stick to my ale. This is the good rotten, I told you. You keep that fruity drink to you feline types.
This is way better than vegetables. Come on.
Oh, yeah, you don't even eat vegetables, you damn carnivore.
I
Yeah.
eat everything. You need a mixed diet.
Wait a minute, wait. Look at you, small stature, and look at me. Who's got the right? He takes another drink.
And when you're saying that, look at me and point your stature, that's when Bertra walks up beside both of you and just towers over the two of you.
There's somebody that eats her vegetables. Am I right, Bertra?
Bertra, settle this for us. Wine is delicious. Holds up the glass.
I take it and have a try. It's okay. Reminds me of something we stole once back in the day.
Ha ha! Hey, Bertra, here's your favorite. He holds up his mug.
Not bad. We got this a lot. Other thing it was treat.
Whatever. And he downs it.
Nah, Bertra, you want. We should have the real drink. Obviously, barkeep. We will have your strongest drinks.
The barkeep looks at you and goes, okay, if you want. And of course, the bar's actually around the room, but he's one of the servers, and he comes back and he plops down. There's four of you there, so he plops down four pint-size glasses, but the glasses are made of shaped stone. And what's in it is kind of green and bubbling just a little bit. And he smiles and goes, strongest stuff we have.
Is this something that anybody has had or heard of before?
Probably not, because none of you are dwarves.
Lightning just downs it. Oh, and then flexes.
Okay, give me a Constitution check, Lightning.
Check or save?
Save.
I'll do it as well.
Okay, anybody that drinks it, give me a save.
And then
Sure.
flex.
Grun wants to sniff it first, see what it smells like.
Grant, as you sniff it, it's got a very acidic smell to it. Kind of citrusy, but even maybe sharper. And the barkeep notices you eyeing and goes, yeah, the dwarves call it stone piss.
That's the name of it. He's going to kind of chuckle. Says, I'm not crazy about drinking anything that's got the word piss in it. Says, if you want something strong, hold on, just give me a couple hours. I'll pour you another pint.
Not like that, you won't. Now, the two that downed theirs, you immediately tongue and drops down into your because you're chugging. I'm assuming you're chugging the whole contents. I know Lightning did. I'm assuming Birch the same thing, or you just taking a drink.
Yeah.
Okay, so as soon as it burns all the way down. It feels like someone has a raw poker going down your throat, and it hits your stomach and explodes. And just for a moment, you think you're going to be sick and throw it up. Lightning, the room gets a little wavy to you. You're just on the edge of being totally drunk. Bertra, it doesn't seem to really phase you. I mean, it's really strong, and you know it is, but you've drank enough strong drink in your time that it's not bothering you quite as much as it is. Barky goes, okay.
Hold up. Although I appreciate this is my kind of drink. You can finish this one. I'll push mine over.
Okay. Are you taking another? Are you downing it to a lightning?
I'm gonna stare Grun right in the eye and say, "Are you gonna be defeated by a tiny cat again, you lousy pissant?" And down it again.
Con save.
Grun's gonna chuckle. Look, you show up and have 2 drinks. And you think you're gonna like catch up with us? We're about even now, maybe.
So downs the second content. She stands there just for a second, and then you see her eyes go cross-eyed, and she just collapses onto the table, out cold.
Oh, Grun's a little disappointed. He wanted to see a look in her eyes when he downs it. He'll just sit back. No, he's gonna sit back in his. You'll do what?
I'll tell her about it. You still want to show her up?
Oh, no, that's fine. I'm already drunk. And he sits back in his chair, leans back, and just starts sipping it a little bit. Ugh.
Yeah, it's strong. Make a con save.
For a sip? Holy shit!
Yep. You asked for the strongest stuff in the bar.
Do I need to do a con save from my sip earlier?
Yeah, well, yeah, because see how drunk you are. You actually, Grun, you find it surprisingly strong. Stuff that's strong, so it's not phasing. I mean, you realize if you down it like Lightning just did, it would probably make you really drunk really, really quick. Dash, the room is kind of wavy to you.
That's why I handed it off. But at this point, I will take my leave. Bart, how much do I owe you guys?
Barkeep says, your tab was covered by Mac tonight for your work.
Well, in that case, how much was it so I know how much?
I didn't follow your all's drink order, so I'm going to throw out 10 gold. I didn't follow all your all's conversation, so.
Perfect. Here's 20 gold. Thank you so much. You guys have been fantastic. And then I will stumble away.
Okay.
To go to bed for the night.
And I have to ask out of character, Corum, do you recognize the drink?
Stone Piss?
Yep.
Like a brewer
Critical,
in them, right?
Critical failures.
You're right. That is critical failures. That is funny.
Yep. So eventually, I assume the rest of you eventually find your way upstairs before the night's over.
Yeah, I'll eventually kind of stumble my way out there.
Does anybody take Lightning upstairs? Or do you leave her on the table?
Grun's drunk enough, he'll drag her.
Probably literally.
Yeah.
But
Grab one foot. Drag.
So the next morning, Lightning, you wake up in one of the beds in your all's room upstairs. You're just kind of haphazardly thrown there. And for some reason, you can't figure out why the back of your head feels like it's got a big bruise on it. And oh dear. Okay, so let's take a moment here real quick. Let me not zoom out.
I'm sorry, guys. I totally derailed the session.
You're fine.
I'm assuming you guys will now go about getting your training.
Oh yeah.
I would have slept in first, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm assuming it was starting after you slip off the hangover.
Now, out of character, early up in the text or the chat thing, I put in there that Grun would kind of wonder to himself if there's any other shops in this town other than the one of the little gnome that he hates.
No, there's other ones, yeah.
Just if there's anything else that would seem beneficial for their trip
Okay.
on the ocean or.
We can deal with that here in a minute. So I'll just
Okay.
go in the order I have them typed in here. Grun, Gris.
Yeah,
That's the-
same place I went to before. Yeah, I'll go back there after I've slept off.
Yeah. Okay. So Gris does the same thing you know before. He continues to put you in fights, with they're the merchantmen. He sends you on runnings, things like that. So over the course of takes about 10 days for you to get up to your next level. Here's some of the things you learn: that the tally is actually expanding its ranks. And at one point, Gris tells you that you would be welcome in the tally to be a part of the official ranks of the tally. But they're expanding their ranks because the city as a whole, particularly the tally and the tallyman, the head of the city, is concerned that the city might be attacked, or that some of the issues of the wars going on in the contested lands to the north might flow. You also find out in the course of conversations with Gris that the tally is now helping the clerics and the priests keep the undead in control in the crypts.
Now, so it's getting worse.
And the other thing that you find out, and comes out during one of your battles, you learn that the Gumtooth tribe, which is actually the orc tribe that's moved its way in the ability here in the city, they actually own an island where you've been fighting at. But not only do they own and operate it, it also serves as a smuggling operation for them. They actually smuggle goods into the city through it. And you found that out. Yep, you found that out by mistake one night. You wandered off to relieve yourself and was in the wrong place at the right time. And you actually saw a group of merfolk swimming in underneath the merchantman where it's docked at, and disappearing underneath the ship. And you knew, because of your time around ships, you knew they had to be in there for too long. They were in there too long to have just been there and swim.
So they're bringing the goods in or bringing the goods out? Is it both?
Didn't tell.
Okay.
You know it's going one way or the other, or maybe both ways, but you know they're doing that. There's someone, or the merchantman's being used as a smuggling operation too.
So that's obviously underneath the jurisdiction of the Gumtooth tribe, I'm assuming.
Right.
Okay. And when you say goods, do I know, or do I notice what kind of stuff it is?
You really can't underwater when you see them, and of course the grotto itself is dim and dark, so it's kind of hard to see what they had. But it seemed to be small items, stuff that merfolk could carry in baskets or in nets of some kind.
Okay. And I see them handing it off to members of the Gumtooth tribe, or?
Well, you see them swim underneath the ship, and then they're not under there very long, maybe 5 or 6 minutes, and they come back swimming the other direction. And one time you saw them, they swam in with stuff and went back empty. You saw it the other way around. They came in empty-handed, went back with something.
Okay. All right. So at some point during my training over the next 10 days, I'm going to kind of ask that of Gris if he's noticed any kind of ins and outs.
Gris says, well, I haven't really noticed anything myself, but, it's a big city. Stuff comes in and out here all the time, and not everything can be seen. And there has lately that, don't know where it's getting in, but it's coming in somewhere.
Okay. And just so I'm clear, Gris, he is part of the tally, right?
Yeah, he's a sergeant in the tally.
Okay. And so I have no idea if the tally is in cahoots with Gumtooth and this whole trading thing. Is that correct?
Correct. But you do know that a large portion of the tally is made up of Gumtooth tribe members, because there's the orcs that make up a lot of the city guard.
Okay. All right. So basically, Gris is either lying to me or he doesn't know. So I guess, can I do an insight on him to see if he is lying?
Sure. Let me see it.
Yeah, I'm so good at insight, probably.
You get the impression that he's probably not lying to you, but you can tell he's probably holding something back.
Okay. And before I forget, just go back to when it was a potential What was it that maybe?
Okay. There's a group of lands to the north. They're called the contested. Colloquially, they're called the contested lands.
Okay.
For the most part, the area you're in, the freehold of Imanzia, is a collection of cities that are under controls of local, and they all have fealty to a larger lord. Like, and Gumtar Stronghold is actually one of the larger lord cities. There's 4 or 5 of those lord holds across the city that make up the freeholds of Imanzia. There's a whole group of cities to the north, though, that aren't linked to each other. And over the last 10, 20 years, they've come to be known as the contested areas. There's a lot of the lords up there that get in control of the city. They're a minor lord. They get control of it, and then they try to capture another city, and they're trying to make their own name up there and make their own freehold. And so there's a lot of war as these cities wage war back and forth up there.
Okay.
But apparently in the last year or so, or there has become more and more concern that one of the lords is gaining enough power that he might actually be and maybe move south on the city itself. Sure that the area that Gumtar Stronghold controls doesn't get overrun. The tally is increasing its ranks.
Okay.
Okay. Lightning, you're next. You return to the Temple of Athena, where you've been training with Percival von the Paladin training you. He helps you with some spells and temple and the various places around the city as you travel around with him. Here's some things you learned. The city's undead problem is getting worse, significantly worse. The temples are getting help from the town. It's clear. There is also, because of the amount of undead appearing in the city, the running belief there in the Temple of Athena, when the Percival shares with you, is that a fledgling necromancer may have moved on who doesn't quite know how to control his powers yet, and he or she might be the cause of this problem.
I have a side quest.
Okay. And questions?
Yes, actually.
Okay.
Is it possible? I would like to request my paladin's blessing in the necromancer fledgling.
He's more than happy to give you his blessing to do so. He reminds you he's not high ranked within the Temple of Athena here in the city, but he also cautions you to be careful because the necromancer is nothing to be dallied with, even a fledgling one. But he also knows peoples are relatively powerful people, so he's not too concerned that you might not know, but do be careful.
And must any resources that I come across fledgling, does the temple wish for them, or may I keep them?
He says you can keep whatever you find. Just let us know that what you found, if you've what's happened and what's transpired.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Nalia, you're next.
Alrighty.
So I'm assuming you go back to Elmward again.
Yes.
Okay. Elmward helps you work and continue to improve your wild shape so that you're getting better and better at doing your wild shaping. Elmward, as you remember, works with this, is a member of what's called the Scarlet Throne. It's just a group of druids within the city. You spend a lot more time this time outside the city with him. And during that time, and if you remember the last time, they were dealing with a blight city in some of the areas. Well, that blight they haven't been able to stem it. No matter what magic they use, what techniques they use, the blight still persists. And not only does it persist, but it appears to be spreading. Also, as you're traveling, because remember they travel from like different plantations, helping with magic to help the crops grow and things like that and be profitable. You also find out or learn that Lord Toric, who's the new lord that came into town that you helped clear the castle for, he has been buying up lands around that castle and expanding his holdings. Any questions?
Nope.
Then that brings us to Dash.
Yes.
You hook up a spider, I'm assuming.
Of course.
Through your conversation with Spider as you're working, and she's helping train you and prepare you for sharpen your skills and a number of underhand jobs and things that she has you working on throughout the city, you learn that a number of minor magic artifacts have gone missing within the city over the last few weeks. Nothing major, just little minor things. You also learn that Prince Kincaid, actually the one who was accused in the paper of being possibly being a necromancer, you learn that he is betrothed to a young lady from another city, and the whole purpose of the betrothal is that it's a alliance between his father's house and father's house to increase their power as a trading company. You also learn, because you spend a bit of time traveling in the underparts of the city and then the sketchier parts of town, that the city's undead are not confined to the crypts. A number of undead creatures have had to been dealt with within the sewers themselves. So being out of the crypts, or people who are dead, and lost in the sewer, their bodies are lost in the sewers, are rising up as well. The other interesting thing you learn is there is rumors that there is a skull dragon living in the Moonlit Morass.
Skull dragon?
Yes. And give me a history check.
Yes.
Glad Grun's not there. Actually, glad Lightning's not there. Lightning, we're level 4.
I know.
Ooh.
Skull dragon is a kind of a colloquial given to a class of dragon known as black dragons. They're called skull dragons because as a black dragon ages, its skin kind of on its face kind of shrinks, and as older it gets, the more skull-like its appearance becomes. Any questions, Dash?
Do I by chance know anything about this lady's house, or can I find out at least her name?
What lady?
Prince
Oh,
Kincaid's betrothed.
the betrothed. Only that she's far to the south, and that rumor has it she'll be traveling to Gumtar Stronghold. It's the engagement and all that within the next month or so.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you.
Corum,
Yes, sir.
you and Wald. Wald has you doing the circuits of all the taverns again. You're singing here. You even sing the sword chestplate some.
Excellent.
You learn that Prince Kincaid is a spoiled. You actually meet him one night. Not meet him, but he's in the perform for, and you see him, and you can tell by his actions. He's a spoiled rich kid. He has no interest, as best you can tell, in anything other than parties and spending money. The other thing that you learn in working with Wald is it appears, from all you can tell, with the number of scribes that the retrieval service employs, because you deal with them as you're learning new stories and things like that, and the number of bards that are employed, the number of your party, Mac, different ones, you start counting heads and you start thinking about the number of people that, of obvious employment jobs as you see because you perform here in the sword chest plate, it appears to you that the retrieval service probably has more employees than it does actual employers. I'm reading Dash's comment on the chat. Any questions, Corum?
No, that's about it for as far as training goes.
Okay.
Out of after all the training and stuff like that, I got a couple.
Okay. Bertra, last but not least. Do you seek out Whistlestick again?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So Whistlestick and the Bronze Torch. Whistlestick is more than happy to train you and prepare you, help you get ready, become more powerful, and he sees that you're ready. And as he's training you, a couple of things become obvious. One thing that becomes very obvious is that the Bronze Torch, remember they're immersed, is preparing to depart the city, or at least a large portion of them are preparing to depart the city and travel north to contested lands. When you ask about this, Whistlestick explains that the Bronze Torch has been hired by one of the city lords to the north, and they are traveling north to do whatever that city lord, the bidding of the city lord. Most he can tell you is it looks like it's just a bit one of the typical bids for power, and they'll go up there and do what they can. They might take another city. Who knows? They'll do what they can. Learn that Lord Kincaid is a partial backer of the Bronze Torch. Not the prince, the prince. And you also find out in the course of your conversations that Lord Toric has inquired about the services of the Bronze Torch in the capacity of having them serve as castle guards at Castle Caldwell. Any questions?
Not about the people, but I just want to shop at some point during this week as well. I imagine we're doing that after.
Okay, yeah, we'll do it here in just a bit. Okay, that takes care of that. Now, while your training is going, a couple of things happen. One, a new copy of the paper comes out. There we go.
It has same pictures from last week.
Not Natch. Click again. A new copy of the paper comes out. And also, these arrive.
We just need to figure out whoever character's name is, and we could probably get in.
It's actually going to be each one of your characters' names are in there. I didn't feel like making one for each one of you.
This is the perfect opportunity for Lightning to wear their stolen noble coat.
Oh, from the skeletons
corpse?
in the basement.
Yeah. From session 1.
I've got the nice dress.
Now, how far off is this the evening of the Sierra 33rd?
It's in about a week.
And we're all trained up now?
Yeah, by the time you finish your training, it all coincided nicely.
Well, that's convenient.
Yeah, isn't it now? It's kind of
So
like
we
the
have
DM planned it that way.
So we have about a week, and then we could attend this event if we want to, or we could get on the road to the ship, or on our way up north.
Yeah, I said these writs of invitation appear or show up at your door. Shortly thereafter, Arden shows up at your door. and inquires about whether or not you will need appropriate attire for the event.
Arden, is this an event that you believe that we should go to?
Well, he comments that it's obviously up to you whether you wish to, but Mac has sent you over because Mac as well had received an invitation, and largely because you all were instrumental in the reclaiming of Castle Caldwell by Lord Torek, or for Lord Torek, and this event is being thrown in Lord Torek's honor, and it would be behooving to Mac if at least some of you or all of you were present if possible. He understands that you all have another job to attend to, but he would prefer that if you could attend the event.
Corum will agree to attend, and then ask yes, where can he acquire proper attire?
Max says that can be provided for you, and he pulls out a slip of paper he prepared in advance. Says, if you go to this address, the tailor there will be more than happy to arrange attire for you for the evening.
Excellent.
Grun's gonna grumble at the idea of getting dressed up. He'll say, "I'll take a bath, but I'm not wearing any." Is that okay?
Arden listens, as you wish, Master Grun.
We may need to get you more mouthwash.
Possibly find somewhere to give him a trim as well.
A trim?
A
Trim of
haircut.
what?
Your hair.
What's wrong with my hair?
Too much.
Well, I'm gonna let you in a little secret. It's never been cut. And it's never gonna get cut.
We'll see.
Come on, I'm sure they want to meet our good old Grun as he is.
That's right. As I am. That's what you get.
I don't even want to see him as he is, let alone.
Can we at least brush you?
And on that note, Dash will agree, but he's gonna hand his note checking in with Arden, and then is walking out. for the
Okay.
day.
Grun will scratch his head. I think there was a nice little heifer down at the, what was it called, Jason? The Heifer's Heaven or something like that, whatever you called it.
Oh, I don't remember now, but I can look it up later.
Yeah, but Grandma, I got someone in mind. She can brush my hair, but I'm not cutting it.
As long as you look presentable.
We can always say we don't know him.
Thing is, we can't because he's part of the party. Everyone will know.
Ah, they'll understand he's a work colleague.
You sure?
Don't care. They want my axe, they get me how I am.
So the events preceding to the party are pretty straightforward. The city itself is preparing for, as you can tell, is preparing for a gala. It's quite an event, and you're actually being invited into the actual fortress that forms Gumtar Stronghold. The gala is actually being held there in the fortress itself. So the night of the fortress of the event arrives. As you all are coming downstairs, to leave, as you step out onto the cobbles out front, you discover that there is a long black coach waiting for you there, and on the side of it is Lord Torek's household crest is carved on the side of it, and there's a coachman standing beside it. And as soon as you all walk out the door, he opens the doors to allow you entry into the coach.
Hey, Jason, in this kind of week that we had leading up here.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, I lost my. Can we do the little miscellaneous stuff in the week leading up to this event?
Yeah.
Like change out money for gems and plaid.
Yeah.
Quorum
Any of that kind of stuff can be done.
Yeah, Quorum, I really wanted to try to see if I could find somewhere that might have a finesse weapon that would be magical, that he could exchange the longsword and pay more, of his own purse.
Okay. You're given directions to a shop. I won't even give the name of the shop right now. The shop is kind of secluded off to the side a little bit, not horrendously out of the way. It's not on one of the main streets, and you're led into it. The shop itself is very plain looking when you walk in the doors. It contains just a simple rack of shelves behind it, behind the counter. Everything's in boxes with lids on it. The door, when it shuts, it muffles out all the sounds of the street beyond. And there's a mousy looking young woman behind the counter. You can't see the tips of her ears, but you're pretty sure she's probably elven just by the way she moves. Her hair's too thick around the top of her head for you to tell for sure. She says, "How may I help you, sir?"
Oh, greetings, ma'am. I was hoping that you may have magical weapons.
Well, we do have a variety of weaponry of that sort. What would you be looking for?
Corm's gonna hold up the rapier that's on his, in a non-threatening way on his hip and say, I'm looking for a rapier such as this, but one that perhaps is better weighted, balanced in magical.
Yeah, I believe we have something that might be of interest to you. Let me see. And she turns around and she walks over to the shelves, and she actually grabs the shelves and just like pulls them, and you can tell they're almost like a Rolodex. They start sliding down through the floor and from the ceiling, and then she stops on one, and this particular shelf contains a long rosewood box, and she pulls the box off the shelf, and she lays it down on the thing, and then she reaches under the counter and she pulls out a pair of white cotton gloves and lays it on top of it. Tapa says, "Would you care to put those on, or did you bring your own gloves, sir?"
Oh, I keep all the time.
Excellent, excellent. She sees that you have your gloves on, and then once you do, she pulls the top open, and there in the rosewood box, set inside of a velvet lining, is a very finely crafted rapier with a basket hilt, of silver wire with beautifully done, exquisitely done beading wrapping up to it. Because, would you care to pick it up and examine it?
If I may, absolutely.
Certainly.
All right, so Corm's going to just kind of hold it, test the weight, see if he sees anything. Do I need to do any kind of like Arcana check or anything?
No,
like
no. You pick the weapon up and you check the balance. The balance is superb. It's very well balanced. The blade is a little longer than the rapier you've used in the past, and it's a little bit more thin, but it's extremely light. And once you have it, in your hand, and it's extremely light, and you move it around, you can tell that it's a very well crafted weapon. As your examiner says, it's only slightly enchanted, so it has a minor enchantment of sharpness upon it.
And then
It's a +1.
Okay, that's good. Ma'am, this weapon would be exquisite. I was hoping that perhaps I could get this and trade you this longsword. And he pulls out the magical longsword that he has.
When you lay she has a nice pair of silk white gloves on. She picks the sword up and examines it. Very deftly waves it around. You can tell she knows her way around a weapon. She flips it around. She goes, nice balance. And she actually takes the weapon, and much to your surprise, she spins it by the hilt and then catches it by the hilt itself. Very nicely done. And then she lays it on the counter, and she takes out a pair of spectacles and puts them on her eyes, and she goes through a series of lenses looking at it, and you notice again the same kind of color progression through a red lens, a blue lens, a green lens, and a yellow lens. And often looks and goes, nice weapon. I'll give you 780 gold pieces value for it. against the weapon you want to trade in there. That weapon itself runs at 1,100 gold pieces.
You have yourself a deal.
Very well. And as you're making the exchange and stuff, and remember, sir, if you want to get the full benefit of that weapon, you'll want to remove your gloves and let it bind to you.
Thank you for the knowledge. And he gives her the 320 gold pieces as well as the longsword +1.
Okay. Yeah, so stat-wise, it's just a rapier +1.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else?
And then,
go ahead.
Can we as a party do like the exchanging of stuff, or do you want to do that?
Yeah. As I say, anybody else that need to go get anything or exchange anything before we venture on to the soiree?
Dash just needs to sell a rapier, a dagger that he had, and see if I can silver that item.
Okay, so silvering a dagger?
No, that custom thing I purchased.
Okay, you'll pick that item up. It's obviously ready, but by the time your training and everything's completed and you're able to spend some time training and preparing with it, getting it silvered costs just an additional 50 gold pieces.
Sweet. Would that be ready?
And it can be done by the time you're ready to go to the event.
Okay, and then rapier, dagger. I'm guessing that's
the rapier. Yeah, just standard rate supply there.
Okay, and I'll just. Do you want us to actually go through a process of exchanging out the gold for platinum and gems?
Nah, you guys can just do the. Okay. I trust you.
Yeah, Grunagol looking as well. Just we can do that offline if you.
Okay.
Jason, it's up to you.
Well, what are you looking for in particular, Ryan?
Anything that'll benefit him, whether it's a +1 armor or anything I think would be north, out on the seas or anything like that.
Okay, give me a D20 roll, Brian.
Just a straight up D20?
Guys, give me an investigation check.
Investigation. Yeah, I'm good at that.
Okay, so you find your way to a shop, and let me see what you find.
Again, if you want to do this offline, Jason, I'm totally cool.
No, you're fine. Now I'll see how you give me a roll here. There we go. So you find your way into a shop, and the shop has a lot of different things in it. But one of the things that sticks out the most to you is a collection of rings. And according to the salesman, the rings will make you tougher.
Okay, I'm gonna ask him to that.
And he says, well, make it harder for people to hit you. It's almost like it wraps you in protection.
And is it like a permanent, constant thing? Only happens every once in a while?
As long as you have the ring on, it'll protect you.
Okay. I like the sounds of that. How much do you want for it?
He kind of looks you up and down because Grun's kind of grungy looking and goes, might be more than what you can afford, fair friend, but
I'm gonna tap my ring on my horn. Just do anything.
I saw it. That's why I'm willing to give you a decent price. It's 3,850 gold pieces.
Oh, okay. I'll come back.
Okay.
Hold it for me.
I can do that. Would you like to put some money down so I can put it aside?
Sure. And he'll put 10 gold pieces.
Okay. I will put it aside for the period of 1 month.
All right. 3,000. How much?
3,850.
3,850. Holy crap.
And it's a ring. It's a ring of protection. You put.
Yeah. Okay. On layaway. All right, I'm good then.
Anybody else go
Now-
looking for anything?
Does anybody want to have that meeting in private before this meeting, or we can do it next session as well? What's up?
My wife casually reminded me that Game of Thrones starts in 25 minutes.
Yeah.
I'll have you done by 9. Don't worry.
I know I'd like to pick up some armor real quick. It shouldn't take long. I'm not looking for anything fancy.
Okay, what are you looking for?
Probably just some like hide armor.
Oh, that's easy enough. You can find that in the commons area or in the market areas amongst the different armor shops. Let me find here. And hide armor would just cost you 11 gold pieces.
All right, yeah, easy. I'll do it.
Okay. Anything else you guys need?
I need to go get some armor and a couple new weapons.
Okay, what kind of armor are you looking for? We'll start there.
I'm looking for splint heavy
Split
armor.
mail. Split armor. Yes, you can definitely find it. Gumtar's a big city, so finding most stuff is not difficult. You do find armor that's willing to work with you and obviously honors the discounts that Mac has for you, and he offers you splint mail at 220 gold pieces.
I believe it's 4 times more expensive for me because of my size.
Well, yeah. Sorry, I forgot about that. So it'd be, we'll just double it.
800,
We'll make it 800 even.
and I want to add great swords on that, so that's 50 gold each.
Yep. And again, that's not a problem.
And I want to try and sell the chainmail and the 2 battle axes.
The chainmail they will buy from you at 56 gold pieces. And let me look at the battle axes here. Hold on. Different tab. The battle axes they'll buy at 8 gold pieces each.
So that's 16 gold pieces.
Correct.
And then I pay, is it 900 gold pieces?
800.
Oh, plus the 2
Oh,
swords.
plus the 2 swords, yeah, it'd be 900 total.
And I imagine I do that at the beginning of the week, so how long will that take? When we get back?
It'll be right before you leave. Before you leave the city. Because even though you're larger size, I'm assuming you did it early enough in the week once you had got your paychecks that, or within the 2 weeks to get it built and made and all that. So it's not a problem. You even got a couple days of training in it.
And then I want to just quickly check if there's anything interesting in the item for the magic item shops. I want to roll for to see if I can find anything that's very, very good at substantially less than it's supposedly worth for a magic item.
Okay, give me an investigation check. See what's just. Figure you guys got 2 weeks. You're in and out of the city. You're not training the entire time, so.
I'd like to use this, a card, a power card.
Okay, throw it out. Did you drop it?
I'm trying. I drag it out, but it's not dropping. Just keeps going back into the.
Is it double click to drop it, Jason?
I think so.
Yeah, double click instead of dragging it.
Unfortunately, I have. I'm using the iPad for it.
Oh, okay. Well, just read me the card stat, and we can get it dropped later.
All or nothing. Roll a single d20. If it comes out even, it is a natural 20. If it comes out odd, it's a natural 1.
Okay, fine. Just make sure we discard the card before the next session so we get it out of your inventory.
That one. That means.
That one. So yeah, you rummage around the shops and you don't find anything that piques your interest. You find lots, not quite what you're, nothing that grabs you as, I really got to have that.
Okay, and that's it for what I do.
Okay. Anybody else?
If I could find any better two-handed bludgeoning martial weapons.
Okay, two-handed bludgeoning martial weapons. Let's see. What do you got
Sorry,
currently?
A quarterstaff.
Now you know why I asked that question. Let's see. You find flails, you find glaives, you find halberds, or halberds, however you want to say it.
It's a halberd.
Yeah. You find warhammers. You also find it's a variation on your staff. You find a 3-section staff. It's basically a staff like you have now, but it's been chopped into 3 pieces with a small length of chain between each piece.
I'll take it.
Okay. Stat-wise is exactly the same as what you already have.
Yeah, but it's cooler.
Yeah. And the cost for that would be 5 gold pieces.
5 gold?
Oh, no,
Okay.
sorry, 2 gold pieces. Wrong row.
All right. And can I just... Nah.
Yeah. Anything else?
No.
Okay. So, are we good to progress to the party?
Run, did you want to have that meeting before or after the party?
Since we got 15 minutes left, let's go and let Jason do the party thing.
Okay.
If we have time, it's great. If not, we can do.
Okay. Well, it actually won't take me long because you enter the castle, the carriage. The carriage takes you to the castle. As you're debarking the carriage, and you're ready to enter enter the main party. Enter the main party. Enter the actual where the party is being held there in the castle in the ballroom. A figure detaches itself from the crowd and approaches you. The gentleman is probably in his 50s or 60s, graying hair.
Human?
Human. And as he approaches, he first looks you over and then he bows to each of you and says, I assume I'm looking at the individuals responsible for Lord Torik's castle. Am I correct?
You are.
Excellent. Tell me, would you like to make some money?
Wouldn't.
Depends on what kind of money you're speaking. Clean or dirty?
Oh, the money's very clean. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Lord Torik. Oh, not Torik, I'm sorry. I'm Lord Kincaid. Wrong person. I'm Lord Kincaid. My son is to be married in 3 weeks' time. Unfortunately for us, and he looks around to make sure no one else is in the area, his wife-to-be has been abducted. I would like her returned to me. Or returned to my son. Does this sound like something you could do?
Well, that's kind of some very basic details there. Kind of hard for me to answer that.
I will pay each of you 500 gold pieces to return her from the bandits who've captured her. We know where they're located. I will in turn assume responsibility for your room and board within the city, for all of your visits within the city over the next year, and I will outfit you with the necessary animals and items needed for travel. In other words, I'll get you horses and wagons, whatever you need to get yourself to where she's held. And you may keep them, and you may have them housed in my personal stables when you're in the city itself.
Are we wearing our rings right now?
That's up to you all.
Yeah, Grum would have put it on for this.
Now, keep
Yeah,
in
I kept
mind,
mine on.
there was nothing in your and I guess I'm speaking really to Dash. Dash, you know there's nothing in your contract prohibiting you from taking jobs from other people.
Yeah, I was actually just gonna mention that we can take whatever work we want, guys. If there's other things, we can definitely pick up on it. I do have a question. Why haven't you gone to any other authorities to help out with this? I feel like this is something that Tallyman can
Well, I would
handle.
go to the tally, and that was my initial desire. However, the political ramifications around the marriage, if it was to become publicly known that she was abducted while under my care, she's been in the city for over a week now, it would cause my dealings with her father to fall apart. And I can't afford that.
I understand. Well, it's hard make yourself look good as good tribe leader.
Yes, it is.
This may be a
Seems
little
legit to
forward,
me.
but this may be a little forward, but how did the bandits abduct her? Is there any chance she went off on her own?
No. In short, he kind of motioned you, kind of over to the side out of the walkway because another carriage is rolling up. He says, in brief, and I can give you more details in the morning after the party if so that you're more well informed. But in brief, she came to the city over a week ago to get a feel for the city. I was putting up her in one of my other holdings here in the city. She went on a country ride with my stable master and his guards. They were attacked. The only reason that my stable master and all the guards, his grooms and guards were slaughtered. The only reason I'm actually aware of the information is that the stable master's son had tagged along with his father and was away playing in the woods when they were attacked. Apparently, the bandits did not know that he was there, and he was able to get away.
Well, maybe we should talk some more in the morning, but I'd like to hear more before we
That's
already are on another job, but
That's understandable. Please call at my estates in the morning. That's all I ask.
Out of character, did he make an offer? What he's paying for this?
Yeah, he told you he'd pay you 500 a head.
Did he? Okay, all right.
And free board for a year?
Yeah, I heard that
Yes.
part.
Yeah, free board for the year in the city,
Yeah,
and
Castle.
a mount and grooming services for your mount for a year.
It's a
I'm
pretty
sorry, was
nice
that
deal.
500 a bandit head or 500 each of our
500 for each of you.
heads? Okay. Just had a
What do we expect that this will take as far as time wise? Do we think that there's a chance we can do both without it conflicting?
Without more details than speaking with him in the morning, you really can't tell because you don't know where you got to go to retrieve her yet.
Gotcha.
And we're already under contract with Mac. I would hate to start breaking contracts with him. But
Kincaid,
Yes.
allow me to gain one piece of information from you, utter honesty from you, and I will do my best to gain back your child's feeling.
What piece of information do you need, my lady?
Is your son truly a fledgling necromancer?
He just starts howling, laughing. Oh, necromancer? He's about as magical as that rock over there. My son is many things. Most commonly, he is a drunkard, a dilettante, and a playboy. I'll be lucky if this marriage doesn't break up before it's even held on his account. But a necromancer? Unfortunately, no. My eldest son doesn't have enough brains between his ears to wield the magics of this world. Now, my younger son, he might have the ability to be a necromancer. He's not, mind you, but he might have the ability, but no. The prince does not have the acumen to be any kind of magic caster. Even something as lowly as a hedge wizard. And you can tell when he's talking to you that he's being very sincere. He doesn't have much high regards for his son for anything other than being a playboy and a dilettante and a wastrel of his money.
All right. Well, thank you. Now that you've answered my question, I will fulfill my end.
Thank you. I will look forward to your call in the morning. But for now, the soiree awaits.
Grun's gonna try to ask him one question before they break away as well. Now,
Okay.
I'm assuming up at this point that someone has read the news.
Yeah, I'm assuming by now some of you've read the newspaper. That paper's a couple of days old, so.
Okay, so all I know is the House Kincaid seeks to expand shipping. Someone have elaborated on what that paper actually said to that?
I'm sure by now someone has probably elaborated that House Kincaid is trying to organize a relationship with a house in the city of Rafus to the south in order to expand their trade into that part of the ocean. Both houses are trading houses, and if they work together, they feel they can expand what they do and ship more items in and out.
Okay, would Grun be familiar with that area or that?
Grum's familiar enough with the coastline to know that what's in the paper makes a lot of sense and that there is a large trading house in Rafus. There's a couple of them actually down there. But that if Kincaid was able to align himself with one of those trading houses, it would open his shipping up and give him a much larger reach of the coastlines, not only of the Freehold Island Zia, but the land masses to the south of that as well, including the lands of Jade.
Okay. All right, so knowing that, I don't know if Grun be smart enough to try and put two and two together this way. He's going to try to, I don't know, persuade or negotiate another part to this deal. It says if they do this for him, that they would also get free transport on any of his merchant ships.
That could be arranged depending on the destination, and as long as I have to take one of my ships out of its normal trade route, we could probably arrange that.
Okay. That's all you want to try to get out of that conversation?
Okay. We can discuss that further in the morning.
Very well.
Okay, and with that, I will end tonight's session. 1 second, I'll stop the recording.